So what if I told you that no one actually dies? And I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean this energetically, spiritually, cosmically. Death, as we've been taught to fear it, to mourn it, to avoid it, is misunderstood. And I want to invite you into a deeper truth, not to understand death with your mind, but to understand it with your soul. Because death is not the end as we've been taught. It is a shift, a return, a frequency change so profound that the body can't contain it. Oh, expand, Nicole, expand. For me, I feel this is how I feel. We're not our bodies, and our loved ones were never truly their bodies. It goes way deeper than that. And what I've come to understand is that we are spirits first. We are here having a human experience through our spiritual bodies. Always remember that. And when we or they transition, or what we call death, they do not disappear. They are simply releasing density. They release form. They change form. And their essence, their light, their soul becomes even more expansive, more radiant, more whole than we've ever known them to be. We often believe that death only happens to the person who passed, and it does for the most part. But death in so many ways is also a part of our soul's contract, the ones left behind. So you see, when someone we love transitions, it activates something within us, of remembering, of reckoning, sometimes even a collapse or even an awakening. But guess what? Never, ever, ever without purpose. Their transition was not only about their soul's evolution, it was also written in our blueprint, our soul contract with them. Something about their transition was designed to stretch us as well, to shake us, to awaken the parts of us that were asleep. And I'll give you an example. Say that you've caregived for someone for years and they have finally shifted their frequency, because that's truly what is happening. Now, all of a sudden, you don't know what to do with yourself because you're so used to caring for them. But in that soul's contract with them, their transition was also an agreement for you to now find that love for yourself that has been dormant for so long. And I know that's hard to accept when you're grieving. It doesn't feel sacred. It doesn't feel good. It feels cruel and unfair and incomprehensible, honestly. But that's because we're trying to understand death through the limitations of the human mind, when in truth, death was never meant to be understood. It was always meant to be felt. It was always meant to be understood. Death is a soul experience, and the mind was never designed to grasp that of what the soul is here to remember. So let me tell you, sometimes when I'm in meditation, I can feel them. I can feel my family members who have shifted frequencies. And the thing is, they don't speak in words. They speak in frequency. They don't bring sadness. They bring remembrance. Their energy feels like home. And many of them actually say the same thing, but in kind of different ways. That they don't want us to mourn them. They just want us to receive them and feel them, because honestly, they haven't gone anywhere. They've simply shifted form. They've shifted frequency. And if you still need more proof, let me tell you about near-death experiences. If you ever go on YouTube, find one. Thousands and thousands of people who temporarily crossed over, who flatlined, who left their bodies, who experienced the other side, come back forever changed. And guess what? 95% of them say the same thing. I didn't want to come back. And why is that? Guess why? Because what they experienced there was so indescribably peaceful, radiating with love, a wholeness we only get a glimpse of here in moments. Imagine being so surrounded by unconditional light, so freed from pain, identity, and time, that returning to this physical body feels like stepping back into limitation and pain. And still, some of them choose to finish what they started, to bring the messages back, to tell the rest of us that death isn't what we think it is. It's not the end, as we have been taught. It is a remembering. Your loved ones are not gone. Their essence is still intact. They are just vibrating at a frequency that your grief might not yet allow you to perceive. But they are there. They're watching and they're guiding and they're smiling and they're whispering, showing up in songs and feathers and dreams and flickers of intuition. They are with you, and not always just in memory, but in frequency. If you can just elevate your frequency, you can feel them. So if you have lost someone, or if you feel afraid of death, I invite you to breathe into this deeper truth. They did not leave you. They've expanded beyond what our eyes can see. And when you quiet the noise, when you soften the fear, when you remember what your soul already knows, you'll feel them. They're not just a part of the past. They are right here. They are still loving you. They're still walking with you, still connected to you in ways far more real than what we can even touch. Because love like that doesn't die. It only evolves. You came into this life knowing that there will be exits. Yours, theirs, some early, some expected, some suddenly, but none of them random, none of them accidental. And while it doesn't erase the pain, it can offer the perspective to walk with grief rather than be consumed by it. This is your invitation to innerstand death, and not as a goodbye, but as a shift, a sacred contract, a doorway to more. And if you are still here with me, I want to honor your heart. Death is not easy to speak about, especially when you're carrying, grief and unanswered questions or even guilt sometimes. But I want you to know that your emotions are sacred. Your sadness is sacred. Your pain is sacred. Your grief is sacred. And the fact that you are here exploring a deeper truth, that's proof of your soul's maturity. And I am so proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself. And I want you to know something else. You're not crazy for sensing them. You're not imagining things when you feel their energy late at night, or if you hear their voice when you quiet just enough to listen. You're not broken for still mourning. You are human, and everything is okay. So I invite you to do something today, to light a candle for them, or write a letter, speak their names. And not because they need it, but because you do. Because when you acknowledge their presence beyond the veil, you also acknowledge your own infinite nature. So, if this video has brought you any peace or helped you see things differently, please feel free to give it a thumbs up or even share it with somebody else who actually needs this message. You never know whose spirit might be lifted just by hearing this shift of perspective and this different type of truth. So, subscribe if you already haven't, because what we are doing here, it's not surface work, it's soul remembrance. And just remember, they did not leave you. They simply returned to the space where we all came from. And when it is your time to return, you'll recognize them, and not by their face, but by their frequency. Enjoy your day. Be well.